So we'll be back in about 15 minutes on BBC Two, and we'll have the rest of the men's decathlon, the start of that, and the men's 800 as well. See you soon.
Well, now on BBC One, a change to the schedule as we join Julian Warwicker and Jane Hill for a BBC News special.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to BBC News 24, now on BBC One as well, with Jane Hill and Julian Warwicker on this morning of severe disruption at airports right across the country as they've had to roll out their largest ever anti-terror operation. Scotland Yard have described a plot to blow up planes flying between the UK and the United States as an attempt to commit mass murder on an unimaginable scale.
Well, this morning, over the course of the morning, we'll be live at airports across the country, of course. But if you are just joining us, and welcome to viewers on BBC One, if you are just joining us, a summary of the story of everything we know so far this morning. Anti-terrorist police say they have stopped what they've called a suspected plot to blow up aircraft leaving British airports. It's understood the aim was to detonate bombs smuggled on board flights to the United States in hand luggage.
The Home Secretary John Reid said the alleged plot was very significant and was designed to bring down a number of aircraft through mid-flight explosions, causing a considerable loss of life.
Well, police have so far arrested 21 people, mainly in London, also in the Midlands area. Those arrests took place overnight, and the threat level to Britain has been raised to critical. That means an attack is expected imminently.
Increased security measures have caused huge disruption at airports across the UK. All short-haul flights out of Heathrow have been cancelled, and the airport is closed to inbound flights which are not already in the air.
Right, we will be across the country this morning. Let's look at the scene first at Scotland Yard. We'll be back there in a little while. That very, very strong statement from the Deputy Commissioner, Paul Stevenson, of the Metropolitan Police, given just in the last half an hour or so outside Scotland Yard. Some very dramatic details given by him, and we'll be reflecting over the course of this morning on what he had to say.
This, the scene at the UK's biggest airport, of course, Heathrow, where initially there was enormous disruption in the early part of the day as people arrived expecting to take flights out of this country to far-flung parts of the world. They realised initially that there were huge additional security measures in place. Since then, of course, we've increasingly learned that the message is to not go there unless you absolutely have to take a flight out, and inbound flights that were already in the air are still arriving, but those that were due to take off again from all over the world were stopped, at least for the foreseeable part of the day.
And this is, of course, affecting not just international flights, but domestic as well. This is the scene at Glasgow Airport this morning. There was some activity earlier this morning, but we know that there are no British Airways flights between Scotland and London until at least 3 o'clock this afternoon. No British Airways flights, very few other airlines as well operating. And, of course, no flights that aren't already in the air, as we stress, not coming into Heathrow. So, again, the message, if you don't have to fly, please don't. This summary of what we know so far about today's story from Jake Lynch.